In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down Armoni Brooks and why I personally think that he has a chance of becoming an amazing basketball player, especially for the Toronto Raptors, who are giving him a lot of run time. So let's get down and let's check him out. Okay, so in this first play, we have a quick skip pass out to Armoni Brooks, who quickly basically swings that ball over to Pascal Siakam for a three-point shot. So basically what we see here is a screen and roll that essentially created the triangle offense. And of course, this is fantastic because now you've got so many different options. And here we see that with that cutter, and by having that triangle set up, we can get that reverse pass out to the point, which then leaves the corner player over here wide open. The reverse then heads over and he can get himself an open three-point shot. Notice how there's two rebounders on this side as well, and there's no rebounders on this side. That's because when you're shooting from this side, the momentum will take the ball at a higher chance out towards that opposite side. There's a quick tip for you. In this next clip, we have Armoni Brooks right here, and he's chasing his man along the baseline, who then uses Jokic as a screen. Watch how Armoni Brooks is able to defend this screen. He's able to keep his arm and extend his arm through that screen so that he can try to stay with his man. He's going over top of the screen, which means that that player needs to cut in towards the paint. This man could have passed that screen player, that cutter, the ball. However, instead, that didn't happen because he was driving down the lane, which then allowed Armoni Brooks right here to be able to continue through, try to swipe that ball, but he missed. But he was in perfect position to get that defensive rebound. So here the Raptors are playing against a 2-3 zone. We can see that right here. And having Pascal Siakam drive that ball really collapsed a lot of the defenders. It actually kept these two players basically on the key. We can see how the play should have went because we see that Scottie Barnes is setting a screen on this guy, which means that this could have been a hammer pass out to Armoni Brooks. However, instead, we see Pascal Siakam take that shot. Now, because nobody is boxing out Armoni Brooks is crashing the boards. He's actually going to cut between the lane between these two players. And if you're playing on the opposite side corner as to where the shot went up, I want you and I want everybody to try and crash the boards and try to find gaps in the defense between rebounders or between the defenders to be able to create an opportunity for you to get that rebound, which then in this case he gets that rebound, kicks it back out, and they set up their offense once again because they got a fresh shot clock. So here Armoni Brooks gets screened and he's really trying to push his shoulder in this case through between his man and the screener. That way he can push through and continue with his man. And because he did that, he was able to somewhat stay with that man and now play defense from behind, which is sometimes a very tough spot for defenders, but if you know how to play it right, you're all set. And here he's able to reach in and try to jab that ball away, and without making any contact with the player himself, you can sometimes get that turnover. You just have to make sure that you don't make any contact with the player. At the youth level, this would be probably called a foul. However, at the pro level, referees are generally in some cases a lot better, and of course you can sometimes poke that ball away, and as long as you don't make contact, you could be successful. And then as soon as he poked that ball away, Scottie Barnes got that ball, and I really want you to check out the separation that these three players had. When they're running down court, watch how spread out they are. Watch how Scottie Barnes has his head up looking for players to pass to. Coming down court, however, we see that these two players, the defenders, are shadowing that left side, so Scottie Barnes is smart. He's able to get Armoni Brooks that ball so that Armoni Brooks could attack the basket. However, we have a trailing player. You're on a fast break and you get cut off that you can't score. You better have a teammate who's cutting back down as the trail man and cutting down the middle of the key, because if that's the case, he could get a lot of points and you could get a lot of assists. Here's another one with Armoni Brooks knowing how to defend a screen. Here he's really trying his hardest to be able to get past that screen. He's pushing through as hard as he can. He's not giving up on that play either. And as soon as that player goes up for his shot, Armoni Brooks also goes up to attempt to block the shot. However, he's really only looking to attempt to actually disrupt the shot, not necessarily block it. There's a difference. So here, he's running past the player. Obviously, the player cannot jump forward in his shot, or else that would be an offensive foul for him. So with Armoni Brooks going up to at least to attempt to disrupt the shot, in this case, because he's going for the ball, he's able to get that block. Also, he's willing to take the three. This is something that I really like to see. A lot of players will shy away from taking threes, maybe if they're not as high of a percentage shot as maybe another player on the team. However, as long as you have rebounders, taking the three, even with 17 seconds left on the shot clock, is still a viable option if you've got rebounders. Now, with a defender essentially being able to contest this shot, if he didn't have rebounders, this would be technically a bad shot. But we see Precious Achiuwa here. We see that Scottie Barnes has basically nobody to block him out because there's really only one man defending two guys. And because of that, he takes the shot. There's nobody to really rebound, and Scottie Barnes in this case is able to come away with the rebound and put back jam. And in this play, he's able to get that dribble handoff and go straight up for a shot. This is something that a lot of young players can learn how to do. When you get that dribble handoff and you notice that your man is going underneath that screen, if you can pull for a three quick enough, you're going to have enough space to always get that shot off, and he definitely does. He had a little bit of a contest here because, well, he's going to try and step out to at least try to contest it somehow. However, if you're coming off of a screen and you notice he's got his head up, he's seeing what's happening, that your man is going underneath the screen, pull for the shot as fast as possible. Get your right side if you're right-handed in line, and you're going to be, even if you miss, you're still going to be in good position because we had the player coming off of the screen. He could be the possibility for a rebounder. We have Boucher from the corner who could also be rebounding. He should have not given up on the play. However, at the same time, the shot was made, so it was a good shot either way. Here we see Armoni Brooks trying to keep up with that play. However, I really want to show you this defense and why I really think it's spectacular. So here he's closing out on his man. If we rewind it even farther, he's closing out on his man. He's going in this direction. So the smart thing for the offensive player to do is to, of course, attack the way that Armoni Brooks came out to defend him. And because of that, when that player attacks, Armoni Brooks takes 2 steps sideways. Now, if this player was smart, he could have done a snatch back and pulled. However, he wanted to get to the rim. And Armoni Brooks, after that second step, is able to square his body back up with that defender. If you're the offensive player, you see that player taking a second step, as we see here, and squared almost with the baseline or the direction as you're going. If you can pull back quickly, you would have an absolutely wide open shot to take. However, he doesn't do that. Armoni Brooks is able to get back square with his man. He jumps straight up in the air, hands up, disrupts that pass. That player could have went for the layup or the pass out to the corner. He took the pass. Because Armoni Brooks is only trying to contest the layup and contest the pass, he has his hands wide open. He doesn't have them in this direction or this direction. He has them spread apart, as we see here, and because of that, he's able to disrupt that pass and get the turnover. If he continues to play like this and improves his shooting percentage and improves everything that he's doing on top of what he's doing right now, I think that he could be a very integral part of the bench of the Toronto Raptors. It's probably why they just signed him to a 2-year contract. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.